My name is Mahavir. In my youth, I was a national wrestling champion. Standing on the mat, I once believed I could keep fighting forever. But with just one sentence, my father forced me to give up my dream and return home to farm. From that moment on, I buried all my regrets deep inside. I held on to only one hope, that one day, my children would finish the dream I could not. My wife gave birth to 4 daughters in a row. Relatives and neighbors mocked me behind my back. I too was disappointed, even heartbroken, until one day, a neighbor's son was beaten black and blue by my daughter. Only then did I realize they had inherited my gift for wrestling. That very moment, I made up my mind. Even if the whole village laughed at me, even if relatives called me crazy, I would train my daughters to become champions. From 5 o'clock every morning, they ran through the fields, trained in the courtyard, hauling sandbags, falling and rising again and again, sweat and mud mixed together, etching the marks of their growth. But they were young, too young to understand their father's harsh love. They complained, rebelled, slacked off, and even accused me of stealing their childhood. Until one day at a wedding, they saw girls their age, married off too early, losing all freedom, and only then did they understand. My stubbornness was not about control, but about giving them a different life. From then on, they no longer resisted training. Every takedown carried determination. Every drop of sweat watered their future. Soon, they won again and again at local and national tournaments. Applause and trophies poured in. Watching them step onto their own arenas, I felt deeply proud, especially my eldest daughter, Geeta. She became the national champion. The moment she held up her trophy, I knew she would go farther than I ever had. To reach a bigger stage, she entered the national training camp, but the new environment gradually drew her away from me. She began to trust her new coaches blindly, forgetting the discipline that had shaped her. Defeat after defeat followed, until, with tears exhausted, she finally picked up the phone and called home. On the other end, I was still the same strict father, correcting her moves again and again, sharpening her will again and again. Even across 1,000 miles, I pulled her back onto the right path. Finally, at the Commonwealth Games, Geeta gave everything she had. At the last moment, with wisdom and resilience, she turned the match around and won India's very first women's wrestling gold medal. That moment, we embraced tightly. Over 10 years of sweat and sacrifice had finally blossomed into glory. My daughter's victory was not only the fulfillment of my dream, but the beginning of countless women daring to chase freedom. Sometimes a parent's persistence is not about taking away, but about protecting. All we want is to give our children the chance to take charge of their own lives.